was right at the edge of a breakthrough, but couldn't see it yet. The devil really had me, but Jesus came and grabbed me, and he held me close, so I wouldn't let go. God's mercy kept me, so I wouldn't let go. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm here right now. I feel so weird talking to this camera. It's been a little minute, but I'm back, y'all, and whew, I'm back with a story, honey, with a just, I don't even know what to call it, but life has just been lifing, and I just wanted to come here and say what's up, like welcome myself back, welcome y'all back, and really share this amazing testimony that God has, you know, put me through this past year. And I don't even know where to begin, but we just gonna begin. I just wanted to say what's up, y'all. If you're new here, what's up, girl? I am Tierra. Welcome to my channel. If you've been here, what's up? Welcome back. You already know what it is, and I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to be creative again, and just to be back up out of everything that I was going through. And that's what we're gonna talk about today in today's video. How I hit rock bottom. Like, and when I say bottom, bottom. And this is not to just be all up in my business, but this is really like God's grace, God's love, God's favor, God's, you know, just the test of life, you know, that really builds you and molds you and shapes you, and how it can come when you least expect it. And three amazing things that I've learned that I will take with me for the rest of my life, as I go through life's trials and as I continue to grow, you know, as a person, as a woman, and just, you know, moving forward, being better, and, you know, owning my ish. So I'm excited to share this with y'all. Get your drinks, get your tea. I don't know where my water's at, but we gonna get our water, honey. We gonna get our snacks, and we gonna sit and chat. I took a few little notes so we can stay on track, on topic, because I just got so much on my heart to share with y'all. It's been a wild journey, and y'all, we gonna go on this journey together, okay? So I'm not gonna beat around the bush with y'all. I'm not gonna fake the funk. I went through the worst season of my life this past year, and it's so funny because I heard God tell me like the end of last year that this was about to be the toughest season of my life, and I was like, I'm ready, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to fight. Like, you know, I've been through hard things before. Like, how bad could it be? Baby, I wasn't ready for how hard it really got. And to say life with my ass would just, it's an understatement, because it just was so bad. And I just sitting here, you know, even sharing this today, and, you know, being in a better headspace today is just such an example of God's grace and power, and redemption, and just miracles that, you know, happen inside of us. If you don't know about my story, I would highly encourage you to go watch like this life update I made a couple years ago now, but I'll tag it down below. But it was, you know, I was going through a divorce at the end of 2020, all of 2021, and it was tough. I was going through a custody battle. I was extremely depressed, and I didn't even know it, but I was kind of like fighting through stuff. I was wilding out. I went, what they say, the kids say, I crashed out. Okay, your girl crashed, and I was drinking, smoking every day, having reckless sex. Like, I just was wilding, okay? And I had an abortion. I just was going through a lot of stuff. I was in a dark place mentally. The next year, I felt like, you know, I was healing and getting out of some stuff, only to not even know that I was still like masking stuff. I was still running from stuff. Like, cycles was still continuing for me. And so 2023, this is where we're gonna go ahead and catch up to my most recent rock bottom. 2023, I was just like, the best way I can describe it is like 2023 was like a cup of coffee with like 5 shots of espresso. I was just like hitting the ground running. I had a lot of anxiety because I was trying to keep up with everything. I had, you know, just moved into this big house, so, you know, I got this bigger rent to pay and just all these bills, and, you know, my old lifestyle catching up to me, all these bad, you know, decisions I made with money, big loans, and just credit cards. I was just like running from my life, child. But I was, you know, I was just trying to keep up. I was just trying to make it. And it's like, after that cup of coffee wore off, the end of the year, I just crashed. And I thought I crashed out before, but like this crash out was like, okay, I give up. Like, you know, like what, I just got overwhelmed and I crashed. And I lost everything. And when I say I lost everything, not just financially, but like I lost myself, or who I thought I was, like my beliefs, my purpose, and what I thought I was supposed to be doing. Like I just lost it. I just felt like I don't even want to do this no more. Like I don't care about life. I don't understand the purpose. Like everything in me was just like shifting. Everything was changing. Everything I thought I knew just being destroyed and ripped down. It just like, I felt like I was living a lie, and this image that I was trying to keep up with myself, and it just, I let it go. And I was just like, I crashed. That's the best way to really describe it. So I fell into a deep depression because now, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 16. Like, been on my own, been, you know, making it happen, and I've been able to be very successful. But like, I kind of just didn't want to do it no more. So of course, when you're an entrepreneur, baby, if you ain't working, and when I say I was in this bed all day, I was sleeping so much, I wasn't getting nothing done. I wasn't, you know, like, just, I wasn't my normal self. And so I started losing money. And then YouTube, for some reason, just my check started, they was cut in half. YouTube, social media has been my main source of income since, I don't know, for the past almost 10 years. And so seeing my money just like cut in half, you know, the sponsorships was like, they was withering up. Like I just felt like I was losing everything. It was one thing after the other. Like I wasn't really making enough money to pay the rent, to pay bills, to even feed my kids. Like it got real. And when I say I was late every month on rent, literally the sheriff note on the door, like get out, electric people in the driveway, the man nice enough to, he know me at this point, nice enough to give me a couple hours to pay it. Like, and I repo, my car's in repo. And I opened up a little bit about this on my family channel, and I was talking about, you know, running from the repo man. People thought I was lying. People thought this was like a hoax, a joke. But like, life can really happen to anybody. Billionaires, millionaires, jumping off of, you know, buildings, because life can really trip you up, especially when you're dealing with depression and you just don't know how to get through it. You just can't pull through. You just can't go to work. You just can't make nothing happen. And so everything just started falling behind. All my payments, my credit card payments, just bills on top of me. And I wanted to push through and like work through it, but I just was so depressed that every month just kept going by. It just kept piling up to where at some point I just didn't care no more. It's like, this is so overwhelming. This is so on top of me. How can I even get out of this? It's like I was just going deeper and deeper and deeper into this financial hole, and into this spiritual hole, into this emotional hole. I just was spiraling out of control. I'm literally going to the blood bank, donating plasma just to make sure my kids had something to eat. Like, shit really got real for me. And I felt like a failure. I felt like I just gave up on life. I felt like, you know, I had like these aspirations, like by the time I reach 30, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be a millionaire, I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna have that. And I felt like all of that was just like taken away. Like all of it just, it's like, how can I even do that now? Like I just started doubting everything. I started doubting God. I started doubting myself. Like things just got really, really tough. I honestly didn't see a way out. I was so hopeless. Like when I say I was there, rock bottom, that was my rock bottom. That was my Job moment. Like I felt like I had lost everything. So then I turned 30, And I feel like something happened to me turning 30. I feel like that whole process was me like jumping into or taking this like quantum leap into this new dimension of myself. And it was tough. Like I knew, I felt it happening too. Like I could feel me like approaching 30. And it's true, like when people be depressed about turning 30, that's what I went through. And I just didn't understand it at the time. I was just changing, and people don't talk about how hard changing is. People don't talk about how hard healing is. When you really commit to a journey of healing in yourself, it is not easy at all. Of course there's, you know, beautiful moments and beautiful discoveries, but like the nitty gritty, when you really digging deep and you like, I'm gonna figure this shit out, it's tough. And I feel like that's what was different about this you know, depression for me. It just hit deeper for me. I feel like it's because I chose to really seek deeper. I chose to go all the way there. I chose to give it all up. I was like, you know what, God, like this is tough, but like I'm gonna stay the course. I'm gonna ride the wave. I'm gonna do this journey. I'm gonna really heal this time. I'm gonna really go deep and understand what's going on with me. And I made this post as I was going through this, and it was like, you're not depressed, you're deprogramming. And when I say that's exactly what I was going through, I was just deprogramming. My whole life was just deassembling for me to start rebuilding. And so to deprogram and to relearn everything, it's a, you know, it's a breakdown. You start stripping away everything. You go down to empty so that you can, you know, rebuild and build back up, and just you unlearn and you relearn. And you know, that's what this process was for me. That's what this process is for me, okay? Because one thing I know is that, you know, growing, healing is a lifelong commitment. It's a lifelong journey. So number one, we don't like to hear this, but baby, I had to take accountability. That's a tough pill to swallow, but this right here is where everything starts. I mean, in everything, take accountability. There's literally nowhere else to start, because if everything else is the problem, if everybody else is the problem, everybody else is to blame, how can you be the solution? You can't fix everybody else. You know that quote, you can only change yourself. So if you not the problem, you can't change nothing. Then life will just continue to happen, and things will continue to happen, and it'll be everybody else and everything else fault. But no, I was like, you know what? I gotta take accountability for my life. This is all on me. I'm in this hole because of me. You know, I made these decisions that got me here. So I gotta look myself in the mirror, woman up, and take accountability for exactly where I'm at in my life. I could blame everybody else. I could blame the marriage I was in. I could blame, you know, the economy. I could blame, you know, my failing. I could blame everything. But I decided I'm gonna take accountability with myself. Something that was really hard for me to do was face my pride, because all throughout my 20s I have been doing good. Like I was, you know, pretty successful. Like I was making good money, and you know, so being real with myself, like I remember it was just one time I went to go donate blood, and I was writing in my notes like, this is rock bottom for me. This is it. And that right there, me just admitting to myself, because I'm like, oh, everything good, I'm just hustle, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure, you know, this is rock bottom. This is not okay for me. And not to judge nobody I'll still go donate some plasma if I got to. Okay, listen, I've been so humbled, but I just knew, like, mentally where I was at. I knew financially where I was at, and I was like, this right here is rock bottom. Like, this is, I'm literally, the only income I have for this week, for the next 2 weeks, is this blood donation money. And this is just enough for a few little pieces of groceries. I would literally be in the grocery store. This was so just, oh, this was a tough one, because it was my pride. But I was in a grocery store with $20, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna get enough, you know, groceries for the week. Got up to that register. Why I need like $27 and just didn't have it. I had to call somebody to help me out, you know, like. And I just had to be real with myself. Like, this is where I'm at. This is not okay for me either. Like, because if it's okay, it's okay. If it's okay, if you don't want to change, okay. But like, I just knew, like, this is not going to cut it for me. This is not the mother I want to be. I wasn't involved with my kids. I was just, I was angry about being a single mom. And I just knew like this was not the way I wanted to live my life. I can barely afford to feed my kids. I can't, I'm angry all the time. Like, let me be real with myself about where I'm at and where I want to be, because this right now, this ain't cutting it. And things happen in life, but you always got to look at your part. And this is not to blame yourself. That's what I got messed up with, like accountability. Like, but it's not my fault though. But he really did do this. But she really did. You know what I'm saying? But things really did just happen like that. But what was your part in it? What was your part? And that's accountability. It's not to say, oh girl, you stupid. Why you do that and this and that? But it's just, these are my characteristics right now. This is where I'm at right now. This is, how I handle things. This is my trauma response. This is, my bad habits coming back around. Like, I'm irresponsible. That was a big one I had to face. Like, dang, I done made a lot of irresponsible choices of, that got me in this same situation. And even now, I'm still making irresponsible choices that keep coming back around. And one thing about a cycle, it's gonna keep on spinning until you step in and you decide to stop it and change it and face it. And that's accountability. And a good way to take accountability, because sometimes we just can't see it, okay? But I think a lot of times we can see the cycles in our life. And this is why people talk about like people that can't keep friends. It's like, it's this cycle of like, I just can't keep friends. People keep doing this. People keep doing, you keep seeing the same things happen in your life. That's the time to self-reflect. It's like, okay, but what am I doing to get myself in this situation? And it's not a shame thing. It's not a guilt thing. It's a owning thing. It's like, I own this. I know this is me. I had to go all the way back to my childhood, baby. And listen, I am a survivor of sexual abuse. And I even had to go there and take accountability. Not to say nothing was my fault, but just to reclaim myself and stand in my healing and choose to heal and choose to forgive. That's accountability. Number 2 is being committed to the journey within. Woo, baby. It can look like it's everything else. For me, it looked like a bunch of bills. It looked like just, things going wrong. Couldn't run my business right. But like, baby, no. All of this, everything that we experience in life is a journey within. I started reading this book. Hold on. I ain't never finished, but and I tell you, just the beginning was so good. The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips got my whole life at the first page. I mean, it was like, wow, a revelation about like life and creation. And it just stepped outside of like religion and, dogma and everything. And it was just really like, no, everything is truly a garden within. Like, this universe resembles our human bodies. Everything starts within. And so I really started committing to like this journey within. I just made everything about like, it's a journey within. And you gotta be committed to it. Because I feel like as I went through like this spiritual awakening back in 2020, the end of 2020, as I was, leaving my marriage and just like, I'm finna go on this journey. Like, I thought everything was gonna be sweet. I thought everything was gonna be cool. Like, all I needed to do was that. People don't talk about though, like, no, it gets worse. It gets harder when you start really committing to healing. It gets harder and harder and harder, but you gotta ride the wave. Oh, and I was thinking about this. Ride the wave. The waves are tough. They crash. You can drown. You can go under. But ride the wave, because the wave is either going back to shore, or maybe it'll put you on a beautiful new sunny island. Like, you just never know where you're going, but trust in that process to get there. Just being committed to riding that wave was super important for me. Like, even when things got tough and I was doubting God, and I was like, Lord, shit, sign me up for the OnlyFans. Shit, like, I'll do anything. Sign me up for the scamming courses, all of it. Cause what is this? This is ghetto. This is not fun. I don't like healing. I don't like looking within. No, it is actually their fault. Like, nah. But no, choosing to just buckle down and just, allow this broken process, because being broken down, being exposed is not pretty. You see yourself in a new light. You might see some things you don't like, but just being committed to yourself says, like, I love myself. And it's so crazy because I was friends with this girl Sadly, our friendship did not last, but she, you know, she spoke into me, and she was telling me like I had to tap into like real self-love. And at the time I was like, I don't love myself. I don't really know what this is about. I don't know. But like what I really discovered on that journey of self-love, first of all, I had to go all the way back to my childhood, and that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But what I discovered about self-love, like, it wasn't this cute fluff stuff. It wasn't these cute little, you know, robes and slippers and skincare and this outer beauty and just, you know, feeling good. It was about being committed to the healing journey. That's what it really was. It was pushing past my pride and my indulgence and just, you know, pushing past everything. Like, staying in the thick of it showed me like, oh, I'm committed to me. It's like a relationship, you know, when they say things get tough and you stay and, you know, you work things out. It's like I had to learn those relationship skills with myself. And I'm like, oh, this is love. This is commitment. This is real self-love. This is real self-care. Like, nah, I'm down for this girl. I'm down for this girl I once was, because she deserves it. She deserves to me being strong enough, to me being, you know, just willing enough to see my healing through. Like, she deserves this moment. She deserves this full circle. She deserves me. She needs me. Okay, I had to go back and give my baby girl a hug. Listen, I had to go save her. I had to go pull her up. I had to go tell her. I had to be so committed to my healing to figure out the answer that that little girl was looking for. The answers that the teenage me was confused about. That hug that I needed, that support that I needed, that guidance that I needed. I had to go find that for her, for me. Because when we come into this earth, we come in pure. I know they say like we born into sin. I don't know. I believe that, like, we're born into like this world that's just so full of evil and all this stuff going on. We get influenced and all these things, right? But I think ourselves, like how we come from God, we are part of God's creation. We come into this world pure as snow. That's why the Lord say love the little children, and, you know, just let the children be an example, baby, because we come here pure hearted. We come here not knowing nothing about life. It's these influences and these filters that get put on us, these ideas that get put on us, that lead us into like all this, you know, abuse happens and everything that like taints our image and taints our view, and that, you know, puts us through depression. And it just, the world view is what changes us. But we come into this world pure. We come into this world of God, you know. And so what I feel like this life and this healing thing is about is just like getting back to that, filtering through all the different things that have been put on you, all the bad seeds, just filtering through it and really deciding for yourself who you gonna be, who you are, what you believe. Number 3, I'm so excited about this part because I'm ready. I'm ready, okay? Throw me in, coach. You put me through the ringer. I've been through training. I've been working my tail off behind the scenes internally. But now put me out there, coach, because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to make better choices. I'm ready to make better decisions. I'm ready to do it. And this is a more practical thing I learned. And it sounds so easy, but it can be really hard to, it takes practice, okay? But it's organization. It's a few things. Organization, stewardship, and sacrifice. It's just the practicalities of it all. Baby, why am I taking everything? Why am I here? I'm committed to changing. And now let me do something about it. And this is where I finally started breaking through this depression. I was able to get a job. I thank God for my job. I actually, like, when I say I was praying for something, I didn't know. I thought it was the job was like the answer financially, but that job, I was working, girl, like, this is why I've been MIA, for real. But this whole summer I worked overnights. I just was like, I'm committed to this job. I'm thankful for this job. I need the money, okay? And that was a big thing for me too, because like I said, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 16. So I haven't had a real job since I was 16. And so a lot of people, like, and this is where the sacrifice came in, because I felt like for a long time too, like, this pride thing, like, I know I can do it. I know my business can turn around, and sure enough, it can. But in the meantime, baby, you need a job, okay? So I'm gonna go get this job. I'm gonna put my pride to the side. I'm gonna put my sleep to the side. I'm gonna sacrifice my time, my energy, and I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna do this job, I'm gonna work hard so I can get back on my feet. Because at this point I had let things get behind for months, and so I just knew I had to do something different. And yes, I was, you know, trying to work on turning my business around, but it's like I gotta sacrifice something right now to get back on my feet. So I got a job. The real blessing wasn't just financially, like having a stable job, having a stable income, but it was like those things that shaped my character, that shaped my perspective. It was just a beautiful experience for me, and it really humbled me, and it just really gave me a different view on like hard work, on what that really means. Because honestly, girl, you thought you was working hard, you thought you was big time, big boss. This organization, stewardship, and sacrifice, oh, it humbled me to the bone. And so that was like the true blessing of these things that I learned. It was just, it shaped me, it molded me, and it unlocked like this thing in me. It unlocked a better woman. It unlocked things in my life, like in my home, how I could, you know, work harder at my routines and clocking in, having to be, you know, do a specific thing, having to, you know, do the same thing over and over to be able to receive the check, receive the reward. It taught me like the same principles for my home. My house used to be a mess, and there was a point where my kids ain't had no bedtime. You know, everything was just like, I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. Like, we gonna eat anything, we gonna do it. Like, nothing was organized, but like this work ethic that I found, it taught me values for my home. And I mean, just right now, baby, I feel like, okay, yeah, like I'm on this organization kick where like no organization has like changed my life. It has changed like the structure of my home. Like, organization gives me a sense of direction. It helps me to lead my children, because I feel like when you just floating and you just doing whatever, like things can get done, yeah, but like it's always gonna be like a random thing. But like when you have this organization, you're budgeting, you know, doing these practical things responsibly, it changes things and it starts to build. It starts to build on it. I was able to start saving money, you know, working a job. I couldn't do that before, because I was just, you know, oh well, I can get some money here and I can get some money doing that. I can get some, I got a good payday here, but the next week may not be so good. But now, like with some consistency and with some organization, now you can save. Now you can start to really, really build. And I always had this dream of like generational wealth, but I never really had a real plan to get there. It's like the real plan is just little by little, day by day, being consistent right now. That's how you achieve generational wealth. Being responsible, making a budget, investing, all of that stuff takes like these little things that eventually build up and give you something big enough to, you know, hand down to your children. So this concept of just organization, stewardship, sacrifice, it helped me to build like, you know, this framework in myself that is going to set me up for my future. And that's what I've struggled figuring out. Like, I can make it right now, I can be good right now, but the future, I ain't got that far. And baby, why you a mother? You's a mother. We gotta have this shit figured out for our children. And I know it's tough. I'm not saying it's something that happens overnight. It's practice. And let me tell you something. Because this man of mine, he came and changed a lot for me when it comes to scheduling, routines, organization. When he came into my life, I was like, yeah, this is just how I operate. I didn't never have a planner. I mean, I had one, but I wasn't consistent with it. But I was like, I don't really schedule stuff like that. I don't really have everything boom, 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 because I'm a creative. Like, I just flow. Like, this is just how I've been doing it, and it always works out for me. And it was working. But this man, he gave me so many tools of just like structure and organization, and I adore him for that, because that's provision. That's like the key to building this generational wealth. That's the key to, you know, being a successful person for real. And so that same advice, and he gave me the tools, baby. Listen, people talk about, oh, a man supposed to just, you know, give you this is that. Is a man giving you tools to help better yourself? Is a man, you know, making you a better woman? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in another video, because baby. And so that is just something I'm big on now. I preach on just every day. Little things compound, baby, compound. I'm so grateful for like this hardship in my life, because having a little helped me to see so much more. Having $20 to budget with, oh, you ain't got no choice but to budget, because you can go and get a little fast food, but what about tomorrow? Having a little bit really taught me how to steward everything so much better, because I just used to be so like, oh my God, I look back and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, I was just throwing money away, throwing things away, throwing time away, like throwing resources away. I just was so wasteful, even just like with the food I eat. And a lot about that has changed too, but just even with the food, it's so wasteful. I wasted so much because I didn't steward it well, because I didn't understand the value in it, because I always had so much. And don't get me wrong, I didn't come from much, and this is why I feel like I was so, you know, when they talk about new money folks, oh yeah, when you ain't had no money and you get a little money, girl, you get the acting a fool, especially if you never really had financial literacy, or you never had the resources for, you know, systems and structure. Girl, you got the money, it's cute, you can buy whatever you want, you can do, you know, you got it. But like, oh yeah, I was new money for sure, because, you know, I grew up seeing my mom was a single mom. She hustled and worked, and, you know, to provide for us. I know Section 8. I was on WIC when I had my first kid. I was having my first kid was where I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna be broke again, because I just never forget, I was pregnant with him. He was finna come, and I was broke. Like, I had to borrow money from my sister, like $30 just to pay the electric bill. And I remember at that moment was like, I'll never be broke again. That's when I decided to start YouTube, and things just really went on the up and up for me. I started making a lot of money, and I thought that was the answer. I thought that was like my key. I done made it, mama. Y'all ain't ever gotta worry about me again. But the true miracle, the true breakthrough, and this is where I'm gonna sum all of this up. The true breakthrough is not in like these financial blessings, or just these, you know, crazy things happening, or something just falling out the sky. That's not what a miracle is. What I learned through this bounce back, what I learned through this depression, what I learned through losing it all, what I learned through hitting rock bottom, is that the miracle happened in me. The miracle happened in my choices. The miracle happened in my heart. The miracle happened when I finally chose to just heal and just, you know, face myself. The miracle happened when I had a new perspective, because like, this bounce back is not like some Cinderella story, like everything is, I'm a millionaire now, and no, money's still funny. Okay, I just know how to handle it now. I just know how to better budget. I know how to better steward my stuff. I know how to better, you know, make better decisions now. So, no, that was the true miracle. The true miracle was my character being shaped. I just think that's the beautiful thing about hard times. And this was something that I was so big on preaching, but I didn't really experience it until this. And I'm so thankful for the experience, because, you know, people say like, you know, oh, hard times is just to help you and mold you and shape you. Like, this is what that means. That is the breakthrough. That is the bounce back. That's what did it for me. It was just a self-work. And, you know, looking back, like, I really wanted to give up. I really did, y'all. Like, I was thinking about, I had suicidal thoughts, and it wasn't like I was planning nothing or like really gonna do it. Like, you know, I got kids to live for. Like, I couldn't let myself get that far. But I would be in bed some days like, I just don't want to do this no more. Like, if I could, why am I here? Like, I really didn't see no way out. I really didn't see the way out. But I'm telling you, the work is worth it. And it's hard work. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. You can go to the lowest of the low. And I honestly feel like that's what it takes to really like change and grow. Because when you got everything, when you always at the top, how can you see your flaws? You think you won. Like, and that's how I was for a long time. But like, when real life hits you and you could just get stripped of everything, whatever that is, it's like, that's where you start learning these values, because you actually experience it, you know? And so that's what this was for me. That's what this testimony is for me. God did it it did a work in me. Ooh, for anybody watching this, you know, that's at rock bottom, that's feeling like they just overwhelmed and can't keep up, let God do it. Let God take you through the fire. And listen, God refines us through the fire. The fire is not fun. It's not pretty. It's not easy. It's tough work. But I promise you, it is worth it. Like I said, my life didn't change overnight. It didn't happen as fast as I wanted it to. It didn't happen in the way I wanted it to. I was just like, Lord, I just need some money. If you just make a way for me to get some money, I'm going to be good. But it wasn't even that. It wasn't this external stuff. God did a work in me. The work is worth it. Oh my gosh, it's worth it. And I am just such in a place now where I have this mental clarity. I have like this new perspective for my life and for what I do and my purpose and why I'm here. And that is what I was missing. That's why I fell into that depression. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do in life. I didn't know what to do with my kids. But it's so worth it. It's worth it, y'all. It's worth it. And I really feel like that is the key to life, us rediscovering ourselves over and over and over again. I know this is not the end of hardships for me. It's like when these crashes in the market happens. Like if you put all of your faith and all your time and energy into the market of just going up, oh, you already lost. You got to expect these dips. You got to expect these crashes, and you got to be prepared for that. And so I think that's what the journey is about. It's just, provision, preparedness, so that you can ride this wave. And I feel like, the older you get, the wiser you get, like the more you commit to this journey, it becomes so much more clear. And I do think things get easier. I do think things get better. Not because things get better, but just because you get better, So that's it. That is my story. That is this season of my life, of what I just really went through. I'm looking back like I just can't even, girl, I didn't know how I was gonna get through that. But God, y'all, it is just amazing. It's an amazing journey. Don't give up on life. I know life is tough. Life is mean. She be grabbing hair. She don't fight fair. She don't. I don't like her. I don't. I really wish I could be a kid again, because it can be fun. Once you get your groove, you find your footing, you'll find yourself. And so I just wish you well on your journey. I wish you well on healing. I wish you well on whatever you're going through. I want to encourage you. You will make it. You will make it. You will make it. Everything is on the other side. Everything's on the other side. You got to keep moving forward. And I know that's easier said than done. So I'm praying for you, praying for your strength, your health, your mind, your peace, your sanity, your sleep, your rest, your heart. I pray that you just allow the process. I pray your perspective begins to change. I pray that you come into the abundance that is already within you. All you got to do, baby, is find it and unlock it. And it's a journey. It's a hard one, but you can do it, okay? So, oh my gosh. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you made it this far, thank you, girl. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank y'all so much for all y'all prayers, all y'all love, support through the years here on YouTube. I am back, okay? I'm ready to go. When I say I'm at number 3, I'm just ready to apply all of these things I've learned through this and just to keep going. That's what we do. We keep going, baby. We get up, we rise up, we bounce back, okay? Every time. And we keep going, I'm gonna hold your hand so we can keep going together, okay? Thank y'all so much for watching. I love y'all more than I can say, okay? Like, seriously. I love doing YouTube, and I'm just excited to be back, to be creative again, to just have gotten through that really dark time of my life and see the light again, see myself, see, my creativity again. I'm back, okay? I'm ready to go. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all be beautiful. Y'all be blessed. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.